Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Check 1, 2, 3.
No.
Cameron Lancaster instead of Luke Spencer.
Yeah.
I sent it to you. Lancaster.
Lancaster's definitely starting.
Last season, FC Cincinnati and Louisville City FC met 3 times, sparking a new yet familiar rivalry. It's an early season derby in the Queen City, next. Good evening and welcome to Nippert Stadium on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Tonight, the first of 3 meetings this season between Louisville City and FC Cincinnati. Tom Glitter, happy to be alongside All-American Kevin McCloskey as we get you ready for tonight's Derby matchup. And Kevin, it's only week 5 of the season, but you can get the energy, feel it down on the field. Tonight's a very big match for both these teams.
Big rival game, obviously. They've a lot of history from last season coming into this game tonight, and both teams have started very strong in the season, so it'll be tough. It'll be a tough matchup.
Jimmy McLaughlin playing great soccer for head coach Alan Koch this season. He'll get his second consecutive start tonight, and that takes us to our key matchup driven by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers.
Yeah, I think Jimmy McLaughlin and Kyle Smith are going to have a tough battle tonight. I think the game's probably going to be won and lost in wide areas. I think Jimmy's probably one of the most dynamic players for FC Cincinnati. Kyle Smith's been a solid player for Louisville, so it'll be an interesting battle.
Well, it's a cool but dry night in Cincinnati. Feels a little bit like England. FC Cincinnati will be wearing their new third kits. We'll take a look at the starters when we return. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Back at Nippert Stadium, where FC Cincinnati and their new alternate black kits for the first time. Tom Glitter alongside Kevin McCloskey, first of 3 matchups between these two clubs this season. It's time to take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. First for FC Cincinnati, 2 changes for Alan Koch as Aiden Quinn returns to the starting 11 and Victor Mansoret also back in the starting 11. He'll start in the place vacated by Kadeem Dakers, who is suspended today. At the other end for Louisville City and James O'Connor, a hot start to the season and a change at forward. Cameron Lancaster back into the lineup. Cincinnati native Luke Spencer is on the bench and available today, but not starting for Louisville City. All of our sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's head downstairs and check in for the first time with Lindsay Patterson.
Yeah, guys, earlier in the week, the weather conditions took a turn for the better. They were calling for a bit of a washout. I can tell you it's probably in the mid-50s right now, clear conditions. The sun is even peeking through behind me, which is good news for FC Cincinnati. Their third match in 8 days. The cooler temperatures in April might be a good thing.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. No doubt about it. Great conditions today for FC Cincinnati and good conditions for the fans. The sun peeking out here just a little bit. Tonight's match official is brought to you by Kingsgate Transportation. We can take it from here, and Mark Kadlesic is our match official this evening. Waiting for FC Cincinnati to come out of their huddle, and there are the black kits looking sharp. They last year wore orange for 1 or 2 matches here at Nippert, but Alan Koch's men in all black at home today for the first time. Kevin, as FC Cincinnati will get the first touch and wait the go signal. really, it's about controlling your passion, playing with a lot of emotion, and really trying to make a statement early on.
Right. Using, that old saying of using your brain and your heart at the same time. So it's a rival game. There's going to be a lot of passion. You've got to show that for the fans, for your teammates. At the same time, too, you've got to be intelligent with your decisions.
Victor Mansoret was pushing towards the offensive third, had it deflected away and roll out all the way at midfield across the touchline. So a throw-in will come for the home lads. And FC Cincinnati working right to left in all black today. Louisville City in their white kits with gold shorts, white socks. They will work left to right. Long ball for GB. Caught up with it along the end line, but couldn't do much with it and pushed it out for a throw-in.
Yeah, it does well to kind of chase that down from Austin Berry and save it from a goal kick, make it a throw-in.
Today's injury report is presented by the Levy Law Offices. They turn your crash into cash. 2 injuries of note for Cincinnati. Justin Hoyt still out with his hamstring injury. And for Louisville City, Greg Ranjetsingh, who started the season opener, is out with a hip flexor. He played the first 45 minutes of the season opener for Lou City and has not appeared since. That means Timothy Dobrovolsky has taken over and has done really a fantastic job. Dobrovolsky is 0.57 goals against average. Foul called on Kenny Walker in the midfield, and a free kick coming up for Louisville City. This will be the first time Louisville City's really had a chance to try to set up and push towards the offensive third today.
Yeah, first possession. I think you're going to see similar matchups too. I think both teams are good in possession. Both teams can play. Both teams are very physical too. They've got a lot of athleticism, especially in wider positions as well, and at the back. So you'll see those battles unfold as the game goes on.
Harrison Delbridge getting his first touch. Aiden Quinn battling now McCabe. Right along the defensive third there for FC Cincinnati. Louisville City able to hold on to possession. Trying to get something going out wide to Brian Ownby. Ownby about 30 yards out. Ownby into the box, going to pull it towards the corner. He has some space to work and knocks it out wide to Cincinnati native Kyle Smith. A long ranging shot comes off the foot of Guy Ben. No trouble there for Mitch Hildebrandt as he comes across to catch it. And he'll wait for everybody to push forward.
I think just an early service there from a Ben, just to test the goalkeeper, test FC Cincinnati's back line and see how they handle that space in between.
Matt Banner knocking it into the middle. Victor Mansoret. He'll cross it to Harrison Delbridge, who has some space. Delbridge had the lone goal on Wednesday night against Tampa Bay, an equalizer before halftime on a great corner kick pass from Kenny Walker. Now back to the far side of the pitch. Austin Berry onto his right. Boehner. Boehner will push forward from his fullback position. Forward to GB. Couldn't quite get there. Louisville City able to disrupt. And now Victor Mansoret going to slow things down in the midfield and come all the way back to Delbridge.
Yeah. Anytime you can see, that switch of play, if they can switch the point of attack and really make use of that width, I think FC Cincinnati are going to try to do that.
Pollock back to the other side. We'll talk about the width quite a bit tonight because Louisville City's played 2 of their 4 matches so far this season at home at Louisville Slugger Field. And of course, Louisville Slugger Field, a baseball park,
right.
A very narrow pitch there. So that kind of changes the strategy and how things go here tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure it's dependent on where Louisville train. I'm sure they're not training on that field,
right.
But that extra space in a game setting is going to be huge for both teams, and you'll probably see that in the balance of the formations as well.
Cincinnati opening in the 4-3-3 that we have seen from Alan Koch pretty much all season long. He has tweaked the lineup as necessary for matchups, injuries, and of course now 2 red cards. But the good part about this FC Cincinnati club and the way they are built, plenty of depth, and that's why it's hard not to have Kadeem Dakers today, but it's not devastating to have Kadeem Dakers up in the press box watching from a suite.
Right. Big player missing for this game tonight. Watched the game obviously on Wednesday against the Rowdies, and I think, Tommy, we both agreed he's probably the most influential player until he got sent off. So big miss for FC Cincinnati tonight, but Jimmy McLaughlin and obviously Victor giving balance on both sides will certainly give Louisville a lot of trouble.
Tyler Pollock has it taken off his feet by Brian Ownby into the box. Kenny Walker will chip it away, and we will have our first corner kick. Before we get to that, we'll hold off on the keys to the match and let Louisville City get into their corner kick. All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. So first for either team tonight. It comes in the 6th minute. We are scoreless. Paolo Del Piccolo will play it short off his left foot. Now he'll get it back and cross it into the box. Kenny Walker turns it away and knocks it into the midfield. Back defensively, Matt Boehner with a header.
Good decision from Aidan Quinn just to kind of slow it down a little bit, keep possession. He's going to be an important player today. Obviously, he played with Louisville last year.
He was the captain for Louisville last year, so he was on the other side of this rivalry 3 times, as was Kadeem Dakers. And Kadeem Dakers was wildly disappointed to be sent off for good reason. That much more knowing the game he was going to have to sit would be against his old club. Tonight's keys to the match are brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Kevin, what do you have tonight for Alan Koch's team?
I think, you know, FC Cincinnati are still in search of that perfect game, you know, putting the first and second half together. That's going to be huge, I think, in tonight's game. The second thing is staying disciplined, right? It's a rival game. We talked about using your head and your heart, showing the passion that's coming from the game, but they've got to stay disciplined. No red cards tonight, hopefully, for FC Cincinnati, and finish with 11 players and try to get a result.
No doubt, the Orange and Blue did a fantastic job on Wednesday, holding on in the final 15 minutes of a 1-1 match. You felt like all the momentum, and rightfully so, went in favor of the Rowdies at the time of the red card, which was about the 75th minute. So they had 15 minutes plus stoppage time to try to steal 3 points and get out of here with a victory. And FC Cincinnati clamped down, and Allen said it afterwards. He really felt like the experience of playing down for 70-some minutes at Bethlehem helped them get through those 15 minutes against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, definitely preparations. Anytime you play in those games, it obviously gives you the information, then you can prepare for it. You talked about the sending off itself. Obviously, nothing that FC Cincinnati can do with that. It's just kind of get on with the show. And for credit, I mean, they kind of dug it out and got a point out of the game.
Corbin Bone off to his right, GB. GB into the box. It deflects out along the end line, and they're going to call a goal kick, much to the chagrin of the Bailey, who wanted to see a corner.
I think it was a goal kick.
But a nice run there.
Yeah.
Corbin Bone and GB hooking up at the top of the box.
Yeah, Corbin does well, penetrating through that gap, just lays it off to GB. I think it actually comes off the defender, hits GB, and then goes out.
So a goal kick coming up for Timothy Dobrovolsky, the Rockford, Illinois native, played at Loyola Chicago. He actually signed last summer when Greg Van Jetsing took over as a starter. They needed a backup, and Dobrovolsky joined the club.
He's a guy, again, on Wednesday, I was very impressed with Kenny Walker's performance.
Corbin Bone using the width out wide to Jimmy McLaughlin.
Good ball in.
McLaughlin was trying to get it to GB. Didn't quite get there. Well defended by Lou City. Now deflected out by Kyle Smith. FC Cincinnati will get a throw in front of their own bench. Pollock loses it off his foot. A foul will be called on the play. Ownby came in too tight. And a little bit of frustration shown after the fact by Niall McCabe as he spiked the ball into the turf.
Yeah.
So a conversation coming. I don't think we're going to see a booking, just a conversation here.
No, I think McCabe was a little frustrated because Tyler had a little heavy touch. He felt like he was in the right place, or at least the right position to challenge for it, resulting in a foul that he obviously disagreed with.
Aidan Quinn will set to take the free kick with his left foot. 10th minute, scoreless at Nippert Stadium. Sends it into the box. Header, Austin Berry. He had an early goal against Louisville City in the match last April here at Nippert Stadium. Nearly had one there, but it went wide, and Austin slow to his feet after the header, grabbing his left shoulder.
Yeah, good effort by Austin. Aidan Quinn puts in a great ball. Times it well, just jumps up, and he's about 12 yards out there, so obviously tough to get that much power to really trouble the goalkeeper, but does well and just goes a little bit wide. I want to go back to Aidan Quinn, though. He's a guy that we talked about just in the opening kind of statement. He has so much quality. If you watch him closely, he's a guy that will spray balls, very dangerous on set pieces, through passes. Natural left-footed player, but he's a guy to keep an eye on tonight as well.
Quinn has shown his skill quite a bit early on in the season for FC Cincinnati. He actually did not play on Wednesday night, so he should have fresh legs being out there tonight. Victor Mansoure came in on as a sub, so he only played about 15 minutes on Wednesday. Get back into the starting lineup today. Kept the possession alive. Finds Boehner into the box, bouncing in the direction of GB. Went over his head. Jimmy McLaughlin to keep it alive. He got it with his left foot and sailed it wide past the goal.
Victor does well there again, just kind of with strength. He's a young prospect we talked about this last Saturday, a ton of talent. I think with the right grooming and the right management, he's definitely a star for the future.
Second start this season for Mansoure, 4th appearance. This is the 6th match of the year for FC Cincinnati. Into the midfield, Guy Ben got his head onto it. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by UC Health. Corbin Bone intercepts a pass from Dobrovolsky, but he goes right back to Lou City as he tried to thread the needle to GB. Matt Boehner having a tough time with it on the far touchline. Goes off of his foot, throw in for Louisville City. You have to back it up a little bit, about 10 yards forward from where it actually rolled out. Last year, that match in April here, 2 of the 3 matchups between these two clubs were here in Cincinnati. The April match won in favor of Louisville City 3-2. They then had a draw in June down in Louisville, 0-0. And then the July game when it was very hot, a stark contrast to this one, maybe 50 degrees hotter for that matchup in July 23rd of last year. And FC Cincinnati won that one 2-0. Sean Acoli and Andrew Wiedemann with the goals. So they season series ended at 1 apiece, but 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw. But on goal differential, FC Cincinnati technically won the River City Cup in 2016.
We talked about conditions. What a night for it tonight, especially for the players. Temperatures are perfect. A little bit of a breeze, but should make for a game where both teams really, work hard and go after each other.
It was interesting. We knew it was cool out. We went down to the pitch about an hour and a half before the game to chat with Alan Cox and some of the players. We got back up here. We were inside for about an hour. When we opened the window to our broadcast booth and all our notes started flying around, we really noticed how much the wind had picked up as we got close to the start of this match.
Yeah, I think on field level, though, I don't think that wind's going to impact too much.
No. Field here at Nippert Stadium sits below the concourse. So
we're up in the rafters.
Yeah, no doubt.
With the pigeons. So.
High above the pitch here at Nippert Stadium, Tom Glader and Kevin McCloskey. Our third member of our broadcast team is Lindsay Patterson. We'll be checking in with her throughout the evening. Tapped back in the direction of the goalkeeper by Sean Tosh. And now Louisville City trying to get their build-up going down the right side. Long ball was played for Ownby, and Delbridge did a nice job to get over to it and play it back to his goalkeeper, Mitch Hildebrand.
Yeah, Ownby's a guy too for Louisville. Tyler and in between Tyler and Harrison here, they've got to make sure that they pick him up in that seam. Given a lot of production in the early games already for Louisville.
Both of these clubs last played against Tampa Bay. Louisville City was off midweek. FC Cincinnati was not. So a 1-1 draw for FC Cincinnati when they played the Rowdies. Louisville City was able to defeat them 2-1 at Louisville Slugger Park 1 week ago tonight. Delbridge forward to McLaughlin. Chips it in the middle. Well defended there by Paco Craig. And it's tapped over to Victor Mansoure. Corbin Bone loses his footing, regains control. GB moving backwards, picks it up on his feet, and then gives it to Aiden Quinn. Quinn going to try and go wide to Jimmy McLaughlin. And he would have been a little bit too tall for McLaughlin, who stands at just 5'8". As you watched film, and obviously you've seen FC Cincinnati a lot, but the style of play that these two teams have going on a wider pitch today, does that benefit the home club maybe a little bit more than Louisville City?
I think, two systems are very similar. FC Cincinnati are going to play more of a traditional 4-3-3, where the guy at the bottom of the triangle is the pivot. And flip side for Louisville, they're playing in a 4-2-3-1, so that triangle is kind of reversed where they have 2 holding players and then attacking. Very, very similar. Again, it's going to be kind of central battles. It really depends in the 3 and the going forward into that target if they're able to stretch and open up wide.
Del Piccolo turning it back into his defensive third, and now all the way back to his goalkeeper. Volsky. This is his 5th appearance on the year, 4th start. Came in having played 315 minutes. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. 16th minute. We are scoreless between these 2 rivals. Harrison Delbridge will intercept a pass, but he puts it right back onto the foot of Smith. And Louisville City right back to FC Cincinnati. Victor Mansoure sending it into the box. GB is there. The flag went up.
Yeah.
And offside is the call.
I think with FC Cincinnati, just a little patience required here. They transitioned a few times. Matt Boehner's picked up. Balls went wide from Corbin Bone into Victor Mansoure. And really, they're looking to play into GB. They've got to wait a little bit. They've got to connect again, bring some more numbers into the attack, then maybe find the target's feet, rather than trying to play over the top all the time.
Don't blame GB for being anxious. He had 4 goals a week ago, didn't score on Wednesday night. He's anxious to hear the chants of GB here at Nippert Stadium yet again. GB leading the team with 6 goals on the season. He has 6 of the 7 goals for FC Cincinnati in the previous 5 matches. Tyler Pollock to throw it in deep in the FC Cincinnati defensive third.
I think a big thing for GB tonight is getting that support underneath too, with Kenny Walker and Corbin Bone. If they can stay higher and really give him options, they kind of bounce back underneath. GB's fantastic back goal. I wouldn't say he's the fastest in the world to get him behind.
Right.
So they've got to kind of pick and choose their times, how to play into him and what type of pass to play into him.
Still early in this match, but Alan Koch will have plenty of options late in the match, especially in the second half when you look at who he subs in and scoring threats are concerned. Daryl Fordyce is getting healthier and building up his strength. We saw him for a little bit on Wednesday night, played about 25, 28 minutes in the match Wednesday against Tampa Bay. I know Alan's anxious to get him some more minutes. Omar Cummings is dressed tonight, of course, a fantastic scorer with a long career in Major League Soccer, and then Andy Craven, who's seen some minutes in the past week as well.
Yeah, no, and especially those 2 central players that we just talked about with Kenny and Corbin. They played every minute the last 2 games. It's a lot. So Alan's definitely going to have to manage as the game goes on and try to get a little bit of freshness in that middle and supporting. GB's another guy that's probably put on a lot of miles.
Yep.
So that's definitely going to be a change that you'll look for as the game goes on.
Good defense there from Kenny Walker, and we've seen FC Cincinnati with some nice plays here in the first 19 minutes.
Yeah, I think defensively they've been organized. They've done well. It's just trying to improve, as I said, that transition, trying to establish into possession, into a rhythm.
Kyle Smith, the Cincinnati native, on the cross right into the hands of Mitch Hildebrand. Hildebrand's played every minute in goal so far this season. Had 3 saves, and of course the clean sheet on July 23rd of last year against Louisville City. 2 clean sheets in 3 matches against his club. Harrison Delbridge trying to send it forward and got a bit too strong into it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just talking about. I think they need to connect again. Center backs are bringing it, or full backs are getting it. Open up or come back and find Aiden Quinn's feet. Maybe combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
Yeah, I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and fantastic strike into the bottom corner. Great goal.
First goal of the year for Brian Ownby.
Yeah, it just gets into that seam, and great strike off the post. It's not much really Mitch can do from there. Starts off kind of wide and just comes back in. It's a great finish by Ownby.
Austin Berry tried to get a piece of it. He missed. And then Mitch Hildebrand couldn't get to it. So Louisville City strikes first and leads 1-0. Last year when these two teams played, I mentioned it, Austin Berry had the early goal, and it looked as though all the momentum in the world was in favor of FC Cincinnati. Then Chandler Hoffman rattled off 3 straight goals for Louisville City. A late second goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge, taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tosh, I think.
We'll take another look at it.
Harrison does well, penetrates. Could have been a foul too, a little give and go. Takes a big touch. And really, I think Harrison's got the speed on him there. Yeah.
Yellow card will be assessed to Sean Tosh.
I think Tosh knows what he's doing. He's trying to slow down Harrison as he gets into full gallop. There's nothing but space behind him.
First booking of the year for Tosh. And a very dangerous free kick coming here for FC Cincinnati. A chance to get a quick equalizer.
We talked about quality of Kenny Walker too. This is himself and Aidan Quinn both have a great skill set over the ball on free kicks and set pieces.
Kenny against Tampa Bay just missed one. Not from this exact position, but going towards the goal at the Bailey end.
I think from this position here, it's probably going to favor more of a right footer, so maybe Kenny Walker be the guy. Unless it's going to be a delivery in, which looks like Aidan's kind of setting up for it.
GB standing right about the spot. Walker and Quinn wait. Four-man wall.
Yeah, they'll look and see how the wall sets up too, where the goalkeeper is. I still think this is probably a right footer's.
Walker with his right foot just high, sailed it over the goal. Dobrovolsky played it right, put his hands down at the last minute when he knew it was going to go high.
He makes good contact. He just can't dip it. You know, it's hard getting over the wall and then back down on frame again. Doesn't turn his hip over the ball as he strikes through, so it's a tough skill to hit.
Goal kick for Timothy Dobrovolsky. And Louisville City's 1-0 lead remains, despite a great opportunity there for the orange and blue.
Just an interesting switch here. Jimmy and Victor switch sides. Vic's over here on the left, and Jimmy McLaughlin's went over onto the right-hand side.
Ball played back in the direction of Mitch Hildebrand from Tyler Pollock. Now Pollock will try to send it up the left side for GB. Ends up on the foot of Kenny Walker.
This is where players have to get underneath him.
Across the pitch, Matt Tainer. Able to keep it alive. Now to Kenny Walker with some space. Trying to get over to the right to McLaughlin, never got there. Kenny Walker able to intercept the pass. Corbin Bone unable to maintain possession. Walker into the box, McLaughlin outside Bone. Tried to center it, nobody home. Well defended there by Louisville City. Back all the way out to midfield to Harrison Delbridge. Bone trying to flick it on off his head. He did in the direction of GB, but I think GB was a little closer than he expected. Yeah. Dobrovolsky.
Just looking at Louisville's shape here, it almost looks like an attack. They're going into a 4-4-2 where McCabe's all the way up high supporting Lancaster. They're just leaving it 4 flat across the middle. And defensively, I've noticed too, McCabe's then automatically drop back into that middle to create that defensive block.
Ryan Ownby working on the right side, pulling it all the way towards the corner. His goal, the difference in this match right now. Corbin Bone intercepts and waiting for some help pushing forward. On to Walker. And out wide, McLaughlin now playing on the right side.
2v1s in wide areas that we talked about earlier.
Boehner back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to get into the middle. It's deflected out along the end line, and FC Cincinnati will have their first corner kick of the night.
Good positive situation, like I said. You want to play the ball wide, but with numbers and at the right time. Matt Boehner does a good job of kind of supporting Jimmy and a little 1-2 to get him behind.
All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. Pollock will go over to take it from the far side. Puts his left foot into it, into the middle. Austin Berry put it straight into the air in the wrong direction. Pollock comes over to regain possession. Taps it out wide, McLaughlin. Now he'll send it. Good defense from Lou City. And now push forward for Ownby down the right side. Ownby had some space, then decided to hold up. Sends it into the middle. Aiden Quinn intercepts. McLaughlin back to Hildebrand and into the midfield, intercepted by Louisville City. Lancaster out wide. Back to Lancaster in the box. Flag is not up. Lancaster all alone trying to beat Austin Berry.
It's a good little run by Lancaster as they get behind him.
Keeping it alive. Shot is deflected, and Mitch Hildebrand reads it well.
Austin's just got to track that runner. It was a good little move, spin move from Lancaster, but Austin's got to whir and drop that off of the shoulder and recover back.
Pollock working in the midfield, back to Delbridge.
Got to get midfield possession here. Too many times FC Cincinnati just giving the ball away from defensive third into the attacking third and skipping the middle.
Bone.
And of course
Right
you gotta keep the ball, right?
Has it taken right off his foot in the midfield.
Possession is key.
Another large crowd is expected here at Nippert Stadium tonight. Two times these teams met in Cincinnati last year. Both crowds were in excess of 20,000, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the final number in excess of 20,000 again tonight. A foul's called in the midfield away from the foul. Now McCabe went down and remains down on the far touchline, so play is momentarily stopped while McCabe is attended to. Matt Boehner committed the foul.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
kind of
it was
stops
on
out
the
a little
foul,
bit.
yeah. May have been the way he landed awkwardly. Right side, Tosh playing on a yellow, working right at midfield. Pollock able to intercept the pass. Gets it back from Kenny Walker, and then Louisville City picks it right back up.
One thing I've been impressed with Louisville City, their work rate is tremendous. Both sides of the ball, in possession, out of possession. It seems like they've got a very good understanding as well in those transitional periods.
Harrison Delbridge deflects it out along the end line. Second corner kick of the match coming up for Louisville City. It'll come from the near side in the 29th minute. Already leading by a goal, looking to push that advantage here on the road. Paolo Del Piccolo to take it with his left foot. Del Piccolo into the middle. Far side, Ownby got his head onto it, still bouncing around, and Jimmy McLaughlin leaps into the air to clear it out into the midfield. Dangerous situation there for FC Cincinnati. Boehner heads it out, far touchline, throw-in coming for Louisville City. All of a sudden, seems to have control of the match.
Yeah, no, it's from that goal, really, it's giving them momentum. I feel like they've got a little bit of a stranglehold on the game at the minute. Like I said, I've been so impressed with their work rate. Very organized.
Pass a bit too strong, intended for George Davis, the fourth. He has 3 goals to lead the club on the season. Hasn't had many touches here in the first 30 minutes.
Right. Just showing right now just the work rate of White, just dropping back in and getting into the block if they can't win it. Getting back organized defensively.
Louisville City arrives today at 3-0-1 on the campaign, and it's interesting, Kevin, as Harrison Delbridge sends it too strong forward. He's trying to get it to Tyler Pollock. What a great job James O'Connor has done in, I don't want to say rebuilding, but refreshing his roster. He lost some pretty big pieces.
He did.
And starters when you talk about Chandler Hoffman, who for a while last season led the league in scoring, finished 3rd or 4th, I believe, with 15 goals. You know, in the final tally at the end of the year, 14 or 15 goals did Chandler Hoffman have. Of course, Aiden Quinn and Kadeem Dakers are here. Ben Newnam has gone to the Western Conference, so he lost some very key pieces, but was able to fill in the holes. His starting goalkeeper is not playing right now, and yet where are they? Tied for first in the East.
I mean, that tells you a lot about James O'Connor as a coach, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
He's been very impressive over the last few seasons at Louisville. I think he does a great job of bringing the group together. They're very cohesive. They certainly believe in their game plan and what they stand for. And credit to him. I mean, as you said, losing those players and being able to rebuild so quickly. Hat off to him. He's done fantastic.
I know FC Cincinnati fans were thrilled to not have to play against Aiden Quinn and Kadeem Dakers this season. Again, Dakers not available tonight if you're just joining us. Received a red card on Wednesday night against Tampa Bay, and that means that he was not eligible for selection today. Victor Mansoure is going to go into the book with a yellow card on a collision just outside the offensive third that seemed a bit accidental. We'll have to look at the replay, but Vic is booked, and that is his third yellow card in just 4 appearances this season.
Yeah, just got to be careful again. Talk about discipline here. He's Louisville player that thinks just coming back to get a little toe poke on it.
Yep.
Yellow card? I don't know. I need to stop. I thought it was
like
a
he
red
stepped
card
on
on
the
Wednesday
foot.
either, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's a yellow card.
Well, either way, now a free kick. We get one more look at it before the free kick for Louisville City. He stepped on the foot of George Davis.
Maybe that is a yellow card.
Therefore, the booking.
I think the
First of the day for FC Cincinnati. McCabe sends it into the box. Pollock deflects it down, and Kenny Walker clears it, trying to get it to Jimmy McLaughlin. So a pair of yellow cards so far in the first half, and a goal for Louisville City. 32 minutes in. Foul called in the midfield on Aiden Quinn. Quinn will come over. I think it was McCabe that he got a piece of, as he is slow to his feet. Yes, it is McCabe. Foul, no doubt.
Yeah,
Give him a little bit of a shove.
Yeah, definitely.
Davis, right-footed shot and a save by Mitch Hildebrand. Pollock gets it up to Mansoure. Flicks it on to Kenny Walker, but Walker unable to give it right back. A bend into the middle, deflected away by Delbridge. Louisville City trying to bring more pressure, already leading by a goal. Smith, in front of his own bench, knocks it out into the midfield.
I think Louisville are just happy now to kind of keep it.
Smith knocking it into the middle, Aiden Quinn. Off of his head, now onto the foot of Tosh.
FC Cincinnati, I talked about discipline earlier. They just got to be careful with these tackles. It seems like there's a lot of kind of niggly late injury or late sort of attempts to get the ball. Those are the things that will add up as this game goes on. It turns into a foul, then a yellow card. Not only for this game, but obviously further in the season, those ramifications will add up.
5 yellow cards, still the suspension mark
Yeah.
on the season, and Victor Mansoure has 3 in the first 4 appearances this season for the youngster. Youngest player of the FC Cincinnati roster, on the FC Cincinnati roster. Header just inside the 6-yard box, and a goal kick coming for Mitch Hildebrand as Lancaster cannot connect. All of our sideline reports are brought to you by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Let's head downstairs and check in with Lindsay.
Guys, this home series is all about getting comfortable with each other. The club feels they really haven't hit that ceiling yet, and they'll continue more as a group with some of the turnovers on the roster. They really felt some of the changes. They feel like that will only continue after this home stretch.
No doubt it's a process as they go through the early part of this season. I think being at home has certainly helped. A tough challenge with 3 matches in 8 days, but being all here at Nippert Stadium has helped this team grow together and getting 2 positive results, a win and then a draw on Wednesday. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. think at times maybe it's easy to forget because it was 2 months ago, but not only is about a third of the roster new, but you have a new head coach, so a bit of a change in system. There's some similarities in what they were doing last season, but also some new things that Allen is trying to accomplish as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, patience and understanding that it is a process. I think probably the growth in the last 2 weeks has been superb. Being at home, as you said, I think that's really helped a lot with kind of gelling that chemistry and those partnerships. But you've got to think too, I mean, it's still 3 games in 8 days for FC Cincinnati, so there's definitely going to be a little bit of mental and physical fatigue.
Well, it's been a physical 36 minutes so far. Jimmy McLaughlin is fouled on the far side inside the offensive third, so another great opportunity here for FC Cincinnati to try to tie it up.
Yeah, just gets caught. Those are the situations that, you know, Jimmy wants to be in, any type of winger wants to be in a 1v1 with space behind.
George Davis, the fourth, came over, the midfielder out of Lima, Ohio. From this spot, Aiden Quinn will no doubt take the free kick, and this is really where he thrives.
Right, absolutely. Left foot, bending into that space right in front of the goalkeeper, I would expect.
GB playing in the middle of the goal. Delbridge trying to find some position, far post. Quinn waiting for the whistle. He has it and strikes it with his left foot, trying to curve it towards the goal. He may have been trying to score there and just got too much of it.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to hit that space in front of the goalkeeper, between the post and the goalkeeper, for a runner, but just overhits it a little bit, leans back as he makes contact. She'll be disappointed with that.
Bringing up a goal kick for Dobrovolsky. And the score remains 1-0 in favor of Louisville City. Lindsay touched on it on her first hit of the night. It was supposed to pour today. Earlier in the week, the forecast for today was 100% showers.
Yeah.
Rain all day. Certainly didn't rain all day, maybe for 5 minutes earlier today, about 50 degrees at game time. So a cooler night than we saw for the first 2 games of this homestand, but what should be good conditions to have these two teams go at it.
Perfect conditions.
Foul called on Louisville City, and Kenny Walker will get a free kick, or will Tyler Pollock take it? He'll take it and play it short to Victor Mansoret, but misfired, and trying to sneak up on Louisville City there, it didn't work out.
Good feed from Austin Berry there just to get out of pressure.
Long ball in the direction that GB never got there. Knocked down, and Louisville City will push it left to right. Intended for Cameron Lancaster. Delbridge and Lancaster get tied up as Delbridge was going for the header. A few words exchanged. Foul is called on Lancaster, and FC Cincinnati will put it right back into play. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC, where the USL Game of the Week. Jimmy McLaughlin with a left foot. Tried to get it over to Victor Mansoret and sprayed it wide. But it was deflected by Louisville City and FC Cincinnati. Nope, I thought it looked like Victor Mansoret was going to go over and throw it in.
Yeah.
Louisville was just taking their time getting to the near touchline. Throw and ends up right on the foot of Mansoret. He backed into Lancaster, who's slow to his feet. Boehner trying to get a build-up going, taps it forward for McLaughlin into the offensive third. McLaughlin with 2 defenders on him has it deflected out. Throw in deep for FC Cincinnati coming as Lancaster is up and on his feet. Five minutes plus stoppage time remaining here in the first half. Barry out wide for Boehner. Boehner split it between McLaughlin and Kenny Walker. Louisville City able to intercept and send it out into the midfield.
Really good interception by Del Picchio. I think him and a band have done a really good job kind of denying any type of balls into Gigi's feet, at least in that space in behind.
Boehner across the box. GB was there, couldn't get his head on it, but Mansoret able to keep it alive. Trying to send it back. Quinn now with it on his foot. 2 defenders on him, and he wisely brings it down and dishes it out to Bone. Bone in the box. Couldn't get there. Boehner with a giant strike, and it's tipped up and over the goal. A corner kick coming, and that was the best chance today for FC Cincinnati.
Great hit. So this, as the play starts, this is the ball that comes in, just gets a flick. I think Victor does a great job coming in. Well, great technique by Matt Boehner. Strikes that from probably about 30 yards out, does well to get over it and keep it on frame.
Great save by Dobrovolsky to get a piece of it. Corner kick will come from Kenny Walker near side of the pitch. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on in the box. And Mark Kadlesic is going to stop everything, have a conversation inside of the 18 before Kenny Walker can put his foot on it. In the meantime, Jimmy McLaughlin is slowly inching towards Kenny Walker. Potentially an opportunity to play it short here. That'll pull a defender away. Walker sending it into the middle, was looking for Austin Berry near post, didn't work. Now Walker to McLaughlin. McLaughlin with a right foot into the middle, and Dobrovolsky is there.
Jimmy's just got to look up a little bit and see where his targets are. Try to play that other side of the goalkeeper if he can.
Louisville City, without any pressure there, loses it at midfield for a throw-in for the home club. If you're just joining us and you're looking for the traditional orange and blue kits, primarily blue for FC Cincinnati, they're wearing their alternate third kits tonight. So FC Cincinnati in all black, Louisville in their white shirts with gold shorts.
This is good. This is exactly what I'm talking about with the patient build-up and possession in the attacking third. FC Cincinnati finally have numbers forward so they can play. Now it's just trying to find that seam, right? Trying to play off of the target or combine with him.
Corbin Bone just outside the box. Tap it back to Mansoray. Mansoray into the middle. Gibi tried to knock it down, made some contact in the box. And the foul was called on Gibi. Paco Craig is still down after the play. Gibi asking for an explanation on why he was called for the foul.
This ball is played in. I think Gibi just goes for it. I don't see anything.
There's no foul. Very minimal contact.
I think if anything, it's the way he landed. Definitely not a foul.
Hence the frustration from Gibi.
Yeah.
Happy birthday wishes, by the way, go out to Gibi, one of the latest additions to this roster, the native of Senegal. Celebrated his birthday on Thursday when he turned 32 years old. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Corbin Bone receiving the pass to the midfield and then losing it over to the foot of Smith. As we turn to the 44th minute, Louisville City leading 1-0.
I think Vic's got to try to go at Smith here a little bit too if he can.
Oh, a chance to outrun Smith. Mansoray trying to track it down in the corner.
Smith does well.
Smith wins the battle.
Does well.
Pollock with a deflection. Comes down onto the foot of Corbin Bone. Over to the left, Kenny Walker. Walker trying to create, spun on it. Couldn't get enough of it. Harrison Delbridge will cross it over to Matt Boehner. Delbridge forward to Mansoray, then knocked out by Ownby. Of course, he has the goal for Louisville City here in the first half, the difference in this match.
Keep an eye on Ownby. I mean, I talked about work rate. This guy's up and down. He's non-stop.
You're told there will be a minimum of 1 minute of stoppage time added on.
Same with Davis DeFord too. His work rate's been incredible.
Flag went up on the near side. Louisville City offside. And FC Cincinnati will try to get it back into play quickly and create a scoring opportunity before heading into the locker room at the half. Make sure you stay tuned for our halftime coverage. We'll have a chat with Kadeem Dakers and Aiden Quinn. Opportunity to get to know those two players who joined the club from Louisville City during the offseason. And of course, highlights and stats from the first 45 minutes. Austin Berry crosses the pitch to Victor Mansoray just outside the box. Penetrate, drawing defensive pressure, gets it off to Aiden Quinn. A left-footed shot will go just wide.
Not a bad strike there from Aiden Quinn. Sees a little bit of half space in front. He's definitely good enough to strike the ball from that distance. Just unlucky that it goes wide.
Volsky taking his time, putting it back into play now as we have rolled over into stoppage time. Again, 1 minute added on. Volsky out into the midfield on the long goal kick, headed forward by Matt Boehner. Picked back up by Lou City. McCabe. Austin Barry's taken down. McCabe doesn't agree with the call. Jimmy McLaughlin gets it as play is resumed quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get on with it here. Maybe try to sneak something before halftime.
Late goal last Saturday gave FC Cincinnati a lot of momentum in the locker room and gave them a 2-0 advantage against St. Louis. Of course, that match ended 4-0 in favor of the orange and blue. Aiden Quinn into the middle. Swings it out wide for McLaughlin. Sends it to the box. GB got his head on it and sent it just wide.
Probably his first real chance of the game, right?
Yeah, no doubt. That's the signature goal so far for GB. 3 of his 6 goals have come off headers. The whistle comes from Mark Kadlesic, and 45 minutes are in the books here at Nippert Stadium with Louisville City on top, 1-0. All of our sideline reports are brought to you by Volkswagen. Let's go down and check in with Lindsay, who's with Alan Koch.
It looked like late they were getting some shots, getting something going, but what's the message at the half to kind of get that momentum back on your side?
I don't think we were good enough on either side of the ball in the first 45 minutes. I think we made it a little bit too easy for Louisville. We weren't blocking the passing channels, allowed them to play through us way too easily. And I think when we got the ball, we didn't take care of it, and we weren't moving it quickly enough. And if we can address those little details, we're going to give ourselves a chance to be successful in the second 45 minutes. But the energy has to be a lot better too, and we'll make sure we address that right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsay, and we certainly appreciate the time from Alan Koch. 45 minutes in the books here in Cincinnati. Still 45 minutes to come your way. Louisville City leading the River City Derby 1-0. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Halftime at Nippert Stadium between FC Cincinnati and Louisville City, the first of 3 meetings this season. And of course, FC Cincinnati features 2 players who played down the road in Louisville last season. Today, we get a chance to chat with Aiden Quinn and Kadeem Dakers.
Soccer became my sport when I first moved from Brooklyn, New York to Queens, New York. I actually saw one of my neighbors was out on the street, you know, like juggling, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I was like, you know what, I want to try that. Like, I want to learn how to do that. And, you know, he actually taught me how to juggle and stuff like that, and that's how I began to play soccer.
I always loved soccer from the moment I can remember. I'm the youngest of 6, so all my brothers and sisters played, and obviously my dad was a huge part of the soccer community. So ever since I can remember, I always had a soccer ball. I was always at soccer fields, and I was always just in love with the game, and I knew from the get-go that I wanted to be a professional.
Dakers into the 18.
It was unbelievable seeing the crowd here. You know, it was definitely a tough environment, you know, coming into seeing the thousands and thousands of fans that you guys brought in, so it was unbelievable.
I thought it was incredible. Obviously the atmosphere, the sheer number of fans, and then the way the fans interacted with the game. They were actually engaged and knew what they were talking about.
After having some talks with, you know, the coaching staff that was here and, you know, the general manager, I paid a visit up in the off season to talk about, you know, why this situation would be a good fit for me, and it just worked out. So I'm more than thankful to have made the move up here.
Me and Eric and I got along real well. I loved playing with him. I thought he was probably like one of my best connections at Akron. The styles of play that we have pretty common and shared belief in soccer, so it's always fun to play with him. And in the off season, Cincinnati came and talked to me, so obviously I was talking to Eric and seeing what the club was like, what the guys were like and everything, so he only had positive things to say, so it kind of convinced me to come up here.
At the end of the day, it's just, you know, another team, different colors, and, you know, a different goal, a different objective, so that's pretty much it.
I want them to know that I'm going to do everything I can to try to bring a championship to this city.
When we return to halftime at Nippert Stadium, we'll take a look around the USL, and still to come on our halftime coverage, a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Was the lucky number this week, as 44 goals found the back of the net, with 4 players scoring at least 2 goals in the 4th week of the USL season. Let's take a quick look back at each one.
Flip throw again and fires it into the box. Ball comes down, setting up a bicycle kick, and it's in!
Ball in for Valesky, the touch, and there's the finish. Falls, the shot is in!
Fleming's cutting it back. Left-footed score! Silva on his left, playing it across. Dequa's header. William, top of the box, great turn. Bezecourt with the right. 87th minute, they take it early, wide open. Abidor.
The Santos, Sutton off his line, shot from distance, and it's in! Come on, Bembo makes a move. Bembo! Bembo! The score!
His winning
Quick throw in though, and he's found Williams. Whoa, there's 3, it's a hat trick. Pushing forward from his defensive position.
It's a great
Swings
ball.
it in. GB got a head on it.
Goal.
And FC Cincinnati. There, Harrison Delbridge is a big target. Up to GB. He shoots and he scores. To Mitch. Here's a great opportunity. Corbin Bone into the box, across to GB, and a hat trick. Now it's Kenny Walker. And GB's calling for it. On to Walker, and GB has his 4th for the night. Banjo on the run, has the angle, bang. Side net.
Davis, left-footed strike, he puts it in.
The initial shot is saved, and then the follow-up.
Bends it in, right side to goal.
Glory, the shot, the save, the putback is in the net.
For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Yeah, I have this if we need it.
This is from. Okay.
Welcome back to Nippert Stadium, where we are at the half and getting ready for the final 45 minutes. Tom Glitter alongside All-American Kevin McCloskey. Louisville City leading FC Cincinnati 1-0, and tonight's first half highlights are delivered by Papa John's. When FC Cincinnati scores twice, you get half-price pizzas online. Code FCPizza50. Ryan only, Kevin, with the early goal to give Louisville City some momentum.
Yeah, fantastic finish. Cuts in on his left-hand side. Little flick behind Aiden Quinn and just buries it into the bottom corner with his left foot.
Hildebrand read it properly, but couldn't quite get there in time to make the save. So momentum early for Louisville City, and FC Cincinnati had some chances.
Yeah, good effort from Kenny Walker. It's always tough trying to get it up above the wall and back down on target. This is a good play from Harrison Delbridge. Great steam. I think the Louisville defender, maybe a little bit of obstruction, got a yellow card from it. Otherwise, Harrison's in on goal on that.
Tosh was booked there. We've seen a few yellow cards here in the first half. Nice save by Mitch Hildebrand as well to keep it 1-0.
Yeah, I think that was Davis the fourth, just had a long-range effort, and Mitch comes up big just to kind of parry it away.
So another big crowd here at Nippert Stadium. Lindsay Patterson got a chance to go into the locker room. Let's check in with our sideline reporter.
Yeah, guys, I was just listening to the message from the coaches and assistants in there, and it was pretty much throw away that first 45 for those guys. It's all a redo for Jimmy, Victor, everybody. Get the ball to them. If it's all about where the ball is, move the ball and get it in the box. Take care of it. They have done exactly what they thought they would in Louisville, but again, he wants huge, more energy going into this second half.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. Louisville City out of the locker room. FC Cincinnati starting to make their way out. And let's take a look at our upcoming schedule for FC Cincinnati, presented by Audi Cincinnati East. They are back in action at Bethlehem for the second time in a month. On Saturday at 5 p.m., we'll have that match for you on WSTR. Then another one on the road at Richmond before coming home for 3 in a row. Orlando City, Bethlehem a third time in the first 2 months of the season, in Toronto FC 2 coming up on May 27th. And important to note, those 2 home games in May. 2 of the 3 home matches will be at 5 p.m. So make note of the change in starting time. Now FC Cincinnati has made its way out of the locker room. And Kevin, if you're Alan Koch and you're trying to figure out how to swing some of the momentum the other way, what change are you looking for?
I think he's got to flip his midfield, honestly. I think he needs to change a little bit, give some support to Aiden Quinn. So instead of having just Aiden as that single pivot, drop back and kind of match Louisville's setup so it's the same, and it becomes kind of an even battle. But from that, I think they're able to gain possession in the middle third, then try to attack and find targets' feet, and then support a little bit closer up the field.
So those flip ends of the pitch. Mitch Hildebrand will defend the goal closest to the Bailey. Again, it's a blackout at Nippert Stadium. You see many of the fans have bought into that. FC Cincinnati wearing their black uniforms. In Louisville City, you see they're huddling up in their white tops and gold shorts. Haven't yet seen the attendance number, but we expect it to be north of 20,000, which would be the third time in 3 matches that these 2 teams have met here at Nippert Stadium, where they have had 20,000 plus. Kenny Walker had a couple opportunities in the first half, and he has a couple assists already on the season. Maybe he can feed one in to give FC Cincinnati an equalizer here early after coming out of the locker room.
Yeah, I think getting an early goal is going to be very important for FC Cincinnati to try to get into this game, and then from there, you know, it's a home game. I'm sure Alan's not going to be satisfied with a draw, but we've got to start, you know, first things first is they've got to get on the scoreboard.
Louisville City misplays it. Victor Mansoure will pick it up on the right side, so they flip back. Mansoure on the right, Jimmy McLaughlin out on the left as the second half is underway. McLaughlin into the middle, Corbin Bone just outside the box. Now Kenny Walker flicking it on to Victor Mansoure, and a bit too tall. Mansoure tried to bring it down and could not.
Just, yeah, good idea. Mansoure is just wide of the defender, and Kenny just overhits it a little bit.
Goal kick coming up for Timothy Dobrovolsky. He had one big save in the first half, and we saw when he was challenged, he was ready for the moment.
Yeah, no, he was. He came up big on it.
Ball into the middle is one on a header by Austin Berry. GB trying to get to it. GB just missed on one header opportunity towards the end of the first half. Otherwise, a very quiet first half for number 9 in black. Foul's going to be called on Matt Boehner, right in front of head coach Alan Koch. And got called just a very, very light tug there.
Ball.
Is what is called a foul. 47th minute, 1-0 Louisville City. Shot comes from the right side and sails into the Bailey. Goal kick coming up for Mitch Hildebrand. Berry will send it across to Harrison Delbridge. Delbridge with some space pushing forward. Tyler Pollock well across midfield, pushing up from his left fullback position. Pollock into the middle, McLaughlin. Now Now back to Delbridge. Jimmy on the left side. Walker back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin in the box, lost it off his foot.
It's got a nudge in the back there too.
Two defenders were on him, and Jimmy couldn't get off a clean look.
I think Toish just gave him a little bit of a nudge. So very easily went down on that.
Throw in coming for FC Cincinnati. Walker with a right foot will send it across the pitch. Didn't quite get to Mansoure. Morad was there to play it away. And a foul was called right in front of Louisville City's bench. James O'Connor doesn't agree. Free kick coming up for FC Cincinnati.
Morad's a little upset there, but I think he comes in and gives him a push.
Aiden Quinn will bring it back into play with his left foot. Austin Berry pushing up late. Help on the scoring opportunity. Quinn with his left foot towards the box, misplayed it, and it fell well short.
Yeah. The free kick. We have another chance here.
Quinn taken down by Niall McCabe.
Should be a yellow card.
It's not going to be, as McCabe changed the position of the ball.
Yeah, can't do that.
Just an additional whistle, and now we resume action. McLaughlin into the middle, just missed the head of Delbridge, was bouncing in the direction of Gibi, but he was well screened and couldn't catch up with it. Morad will turn it around and send it back to Craig. Over to Dobrovolsky, and he cannot pick it up there, and Gibi nearly took it off his foot, then went stumbling towards the goalpost. It was a back pass to the goalkeeper, so he couldn't scoop it, and Gibi wisely came in and brought pressure.
Probably take another extra touch there. I think Gibi would have had him closed down and probably scored from it.
Morad forward across midfield, now out wide, George Davis. Back to Morad. Mansoure showing some pressure. Louisville City knocking it along their defensive back line. Deflected off the foot of Del Piccolo onto McLaughlin. Bullock, Quinn, and back to Boehner over on the left. Check that, that's Austin Berry. Quinn has it taken off his foot. Ownby splits two defenders. A foul will be called, and a free kick coming up here for Louisville City.
Ownby does well again. Kind of just picks up on Aiden Quinn's first touch, drives into that pocket of space.
Austin Berry is booked. A late card came in after the foul. That is the first yellow card of the season on Austin Berry. In the meantime, FC Cincinnati needs to buckle down defensively and stop this scoring opportunity by Louisville City. 51st minute, Austin Berry goes into the book with a yellow card. Louisville City with two players standing over it. McCabe sends it into the box. Header goes wide left. Ownby trying to keep it alive, puts it out along the end line. Goal kick coming for Hildebrand. He'll play it short to Austin Berry. Have you seen any change in the shape for FC Cincinnati since coming out of the locker room?
No, it's been the same. I think they've had more success. I'm sure one thing Alan was talking about, right, I was saying about flipping the midfield, is trying to make that right pass from the defensive third into the middle third. They've done that so far. It's been effective. They've had some more possessions in Louisville's half. And the biggest thing now is really trying to create an attack and trying to get and improve a little bit of end product, right, from this wide area right here.
Mansoray trying to send it into the middle. It's deflected. Corbin Bone coming over, unable to collect.
It's kind of fallen short a little bit just on that end product part.
Louisville City trying to clear. The foul is going to be called on Matt Boehner. Not happy about the calls. He took down George Davis, the fourth.
It's a struggle. Both of them are gone. Both have their arms out.
Yeah. Probably called for having the two hands on Davis's arm.
Two hands up.
Louisville unable in the meantime to keep it in far touchline.
Do you think the referees called the game very, very tightly? I'm still scratching my head a little bit with some of the yellow cards that have been given. But at least he's been consistent.
No doubt.
And that's
right.
The most important thing.
The yellow card on Austin Berry, honestly, I don't know if it was for dissent or for the foul.
Could have been. Right. Could have been.
Because the card seemed to come out late. Now often the match official will check on the player who was fouled to make sure that they're okay. Yeah. But it didn't appear as though there was any injury situation there. And then a late card on Austin Berry. Delbridge pushing up along the left side, trying to make a run. Ball is deflected and Louisville City collects in their defensive third. FC Cincinnati looking for an equalizer here at home. Trailing by a goal in the 54th minute. Tom Glitter, Kevin McCloskey, Lindsey Patterson down on the field. Our producer David Ashbrook doing a great job with the crew in the truck today. Busy week for all of us. Third match in 8 days for FC Cincinnati at home. We will not be back with you with a local broadcast until May 13th. Barry's pass up to GB, and it caught just a bit of his arm as he brought it down.
Yep. I think a big thing for Louisville is really, they're going to really try to dictate the flow of this game, try to take the sting out of any FC Cincinnati's attack, and go with their rhythm if they can,
Paco Craig completely misplays the pass. Intended for Tarek Morad. And right past him in FC Cincinnati's bench for a throw-in. And a foul on the throw-in called on Niall McCabe. He's been mixed up in many of these very physical situations.
Yeah, no, I think McCabe's played very well. I think he's defended well for like an attacking center midfielder. In attack, he's been that guy that's not afraid to throw bodies around as well for Louisville. I've been impressed with his performance.
Aiden Quinn couldn't quite get to it. It was deflected out, and Kenny Walker got it back. Now Mansoray trying to use his size. Up to GB.
Be surprised here if Allen makes an early change with his lineup.
You will or you won't be?
No, I won't be. I think I think different personnel maybe coming into the game can change it.
McLaughlin unable to keep it alive. Louisville City pushing the other way, right to left. Deflected off of Boehner.
There's a lot of time left, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's, as a coach, you're going to try to sense the rhythm in the game. You're going to look at it and say, are we doing what we need to be doing? If not, we've got to change it, try to execute it, and create more positive trends, really.
Smith with a deflection as he takes down Jimmy McLaughlin. Walker able to win it back. Finds it to GB. Bounced back to the goalkeeper off the head of Tosh. And now one of the Louisville City players goes down in the box. After GB got tied up trying to win the header. So the athletic training staff is going to come on for Louisville City. And that's Paco Craig, who got tangled up with GB. Get a chance to look at it.
Yeah.
A little bit of GB's arm into his face as GB was trying to win.
He does. The center forward is going to use his arms and his elbows to obviously elevate himself to get up and then protect himself. And I think he just catches. Yeah, I think he catches Craig there just on the eye with his elbow, maybe.
Certainly nothing egregious.
Unintentional.
Both managers tonight have 3 subs available. Last year, remember, 5 subs for each club. 3 subs available. Nobody has gone to their bench yet, but both teams have their subs up and warming up in earnest. One of the subs that definitely could change the game because he's a dynamic scorer is Daryl Fordyce.
Yeah.
And he's someone that Allen mentioned during the week that he wanted to try and get some significant minutes to, and it looks like Andrew Wiedemann already has his black jersey on, so I think we're going to see Fordyce and Wiedemann
I think you might see a
here
double
pretty
sub
soon.
Yeah.
Dobrovolsky waiting to push everybody up, and he will bring the ball back into play in the 58th minute.
So then the decision for Allen is, does Wiedemann come into the middle? Does he go in a wide position, which, he's versatile. He can play both. I think Daryl Fordyce will probably play in the middle.
I'd imagine one of the subs is Victor Mansoret, who's playing on a yellow card.
Yeah.
The cards have been handed off to the fourth official, so we should get word on those substitutions shortly. Mansoret, in the meantime, going to make the most of his minutes. Meg's the defender. Mansoret trying to get into the box, keeps it alive.
It's good to see that from him.
Along the end line, and a corner kick coming here for FC Cincinnati.
I talked about such a young prospect, but he's a guy he's got to want the ball a little bit more. He's got fantastic ability. These are situations here where he wants to get out of defender and turn him, try to make him very uncomfortable if he can.
On a smart play there.
Yeah.
He screened the ball well to earn that corner kick for his club. All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today. Tyler Polak will take it. Crowd comes to their feet here at Nippert Stadium. Polak into the middle, headed away by Louisville City and out to Matt Boehner.
Try to find the back post there with a target of Harrison Delbridge at the backside.
Polak on to Kenny Walker, into the middle, headed out along the end line, and another corner kick coming near side to our right. And now they're going to allow for the substitutions for FC Cincinnati. It'll be Wiedemann coming in for Victor Mansoret, so he'll play out wide, presumably on the right. And he will get a chance to come in before this corner kick comes. So an interesting change there as Tyler Polak will come out, a defender, and Daryl Fordyce, a forward, comes in. You want to see a change in the lineup for Alan Koch. That's a significant one.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's probably going to go three at the back here. Just want to see where Fordyce goes into that central position.
Aiden Quinn will take the corner this time. 60th minute, FC Cincinnati trailing by a goal. Quinn lining up his approach. Aiden Quinn into the box. Ball is headed and cleared on the line. A great defensive play by Louisville City as it was bouncing towards the goal and cleared away. Matt Boehner going to try to push it back in the direction of Fordyce. Intercepted by Guy Abend. It may have been Abend who got his head on that ball. Clearing it on the line.
Yeah, it looks like a 3-5-2. Matt Boehner's come over, Austin Barry's come over to the right. Matt Boehner's in the middle and Harrison's on the left. Looks like a middle three of Wiedemann, Quinn, and Kenny Walker. With Corbin just in front, and then the two forwards up top, I think, are going to be GB and Fordyce.
Fordyce trying to track it down as it rolls towards Dobrovolsky. Didn't get there. Ball out into the midfield.
It's got Jimmy and Weeda kind of playing as wingbacks right now out wide.
To the right side. Louisville City able to regain control.
I think changing those smart. We talked about it at halftime, Tommy. I think he had to change. Allen had to change the shape of his team a little bit. Time's obviously not on their side, so they've got to take a defender out and put one more into the attack.
Ownby with a great run, sends it into the middle, and it skips right into the chest of Mitch Hildebrandt with pressure on from Louisville City. Hildebrandt reads it perfectly. Tonight's broadcast of FC Cincinnati is brought to you in part by your local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Volkswagen dealers. Walker looking long for GB. Put it about a step too long.
just with this too, I mean, it's already causing Louisville problems. Fordyce and GB are kind of getting in between the centre back and the full backs for Louisville. It's allowing our wing backs of Wiedemann and McLaughlin to get into that half space. And already Matt Boehner's pushing into the space as well, so they've been very aggressive with this change.
James O'Connor is going to counter with his first change of the night. The next opportunity, a Cincinnati native and Xavier University product. Luke Spencer will check in. Of course, he was on the FC Cincinnati roster last year. He'll replace Cameron Lancaster. Ownby again making a run towards the corner. Ownby has this match's lone goal. He sends it across the box. Tracked down by George Davis. Boehner does a nice job defensively to get it forward to Fordyce. Cleared out and a throw-in for FC Cincinnati. Gaia Bend sent it into the home bench. And now the substitution will come on. So Luke Spencer, who has started 2 matches this year for Louisville City, has played 247 minutes and had a goal at Orlando City when he celebrated with his trademark backflip, is in for the first time today. I had a chance to chat with him a little bit down on the pitch before the match. He certainly was thrilled to be back here in Cincinnati and said that things have been going very well. And, you know, it was a numbers game here in Cincinnati. It didn't work out for a lot of minutes, and certainly it has worked in his favor down at Louisville City.
No, I know a lot about Luke. He's a very good player, very talented player. I think getting the chance at Louisville is definitely, he's going to repay that confidence that O'Connor's shown in him.
Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up the rebound, and he sent it up into the Bailey.
Yeah, too cute. I mean, Harrison's just got to clear that. He can't cut back inside his own 6.
There's Delbridge cutting back, losing it, and Mitch Hildebrandt with a huge save for the home club.
Yeah, he knows. I mean, put his hand up straight away. He's recognized it.
Long ball in the direction of GB, doesn't quite get there. Gaia Bend picks it up, sends it out wide for Ownby, who has a ton of space. Ownby pushing forward on the right side. Delbridge there.
It's going to be the toughest part, obviously, going with 3 in the back. You're going to be exposed.
Over to McCabe. McCabe in the box, gets a shot off, deflected by Austin Berry. Wiedemann headed it, but it ended up on the foot of Ownby. Mitch Hildebrandt again comes up with a big save. Bounced right into his chest. Throws it out to Andrew Wiedemann.
Try to make that stick if he can.
GB into the middle. Trying to get it to Fordyce. Didn't quite get there.
Yeah, he's strong enough that he can just make that stick and kind of separate himself from the pressure.
Del Piccolo. His pass is intercepted. Corbin Bone onto his right. GB working along the sideline, has it poked away as Paco Craig came over. Quick throw in to Aiden Quinn. Quinn working in the midfield against his former team. Got it up to Corbin Bone, who was then knocked over. Foul is called on Louisville City, and a free kick coming up right on the cusp of the offensive third for FC Cincinnati.
A dangerous position here to set up.
Substitution for Louisville City. Brian Ownby will sit down after 66 productive minutes. And Mark Anthony Kay, the midfielder out of Toronto, Canada, checks in for the first time.
Ownby's definitely had a productive performance tonight.
Actually, second appearance this season for Kay.
He might have picked up an injury, actually, judging by him
grabbing his right hip, right?
Yeah.
Ownby, his 5th start in as many matches this season, will limp off towards midfield. Both Walker and Quinn standing over the ball. So we are now in the 67th minute, and Louisville City leading their rival FC Cincinnati 1-0 here at Nippert Stadium. The next 2 matchups in this series this season will take place at Louisville Slugger Field. Walker acting like he's going to take it, but Quinn there as well. Kenny Walker with his right foot swings it into the box. Header, Harrison Delbridge, backdoor Corbin Bone. Couldn't quite get to it, and it skipped out along the end line, but touched last by Louisville City, and a corner kick coming up.
Yeah, good delivery. Much better from Kenny Walker. It might have been Austin Berry that got in on the end of that.
It was Corbin Bone.
This ball across.
Delbridge.
Harrison Delbridge does great to kind of put it across the fist there, man.
Quickly, Aiden Quinn with his left foot. GB tried to get his head on it and could not. McLaughlin picks it up, gets into the box. McLaughlin's shot skips wide, and another corner kick
Good
coming.
amount of pressure here for FC Cincinnati.
All of tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by the Levy Law Offices. Turn your crash into cash. Visit LevyLawOffices.com today, and those last two opportunities bringing some energy back to Nippert Stadium.
Pride's definitely getting behind him. Still a lot of time left. You know, they don't have to panic for sure.
Kenny Walker, Corbin Bone tried to get the header. Luke Spencer cleared it. Now Louisville City is going to try to counter the other way. Aiden Quinn came in defensively and knocked it out, throwing for Louisville City, but that'll get a chance for the men in black to get back defensively.
Anthony Kay there just shows the speed that he possesses as well, not break for Louisville.
So a couple good opportunities for FC Cincinnati, but they come up empty and still trail by a goal. 22 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Fouls called on Kenny Walker on the far side. Louisville City right now sitting tied for first place with 10 points so far this year. FC Cincinnati tied for 5th with 7 points. Now McCabe sends it towards the box, and Mitch Hildebrand ranges over and collects. Hildebrand will roll it forward towards Harrison Delbridge. Up to Aiden Quinn. Quinn, I think, was looking to feed it to Wiedemann there, and it just fell a bit short.
Yeah.
McCabe plays it in the middle for Louisville City. He's cut down from behind by Kenny Walker, who's going to land in the book. Third yellow card today on FC Cincinnati. First of the year on Kenny Walker. Free kick will come for Louisville City in the midfield, and just a bit too strong. And on these type of calls, that's been a booking tonight.
It has been a booking, and that's what I said. I mean, it's rightly or wrongly, is it a yellow card? The referee's been very consistent with it.
Tosh picked up the early yellow for Louisville City. Since then, it's been Victor Manseret, Austin Berry, and Kenny Walker all receiving yellow. Walker turning it forward in the direction of GB. GB trying to outrun the ball, didn't quite do it. Dobrovolsky came forward. It was deflected as he got it out to midfield, but no trouble for Louisville City. Delbridge was chasing it down far side, and quickly a throw in for FC. Wiedemann will get the ball in the midfield, onto the foot of Corbin Bone. Austin Berry back to his goalkeeper, Mitch Hildebrand. Delbridge falls down as he puts it a bit strong. I was just thinking
Allen's got to be looking at the clock here and seeing if he's going to make his last sub.
Remember, this is the third match in 8 days for the Orange and Blue, so some heavy legs, no doubt, especially on that defensive four.
Right.
Pollock already came out. Delbridge, Berry, and Boehner have played a bulk of those minutes in the past week.
Yeah, he's not changing his back three, I don't think. I mean, I think it's got to be offensive, if anything.
Kenny Walker's seen a lot of minutes this week, as has Corbin Bone.
Yeah.
So you would think one of those two possibly would be the one coming out. Austin Berry unable to pick it up, but Matt Boehner finds it and gets it up to Wiedemann. Good to see Daryl Fordyce healthy, back out on the pitch for Cincinnati. Tell you what, the physicality of this game has been non-stop throughout. Tough challenges on every ball.
No, it's very physical. Both teams, I mean, we talked about it, very athletic. You know, and brave too. Yeah, I mean, Louisville and FC Cincinnati both have been very brave in every challenge.
Louisville controlling in the midfield. Played back. Dobrovolsky.
The possession for both teams hasn't been the cleanest, though. You know, it seems like there's been a lot of turnovers on both sides.
Wiedemann knocks it down to Barry, and I think we have our answer on who the third sub is going to be. It'll be Andy Craven. That's a offensive substitution for Alan Koch. He's called him over to have a conversation with him, and it appears as though he'll put his jersey on. Gibi in the box. It bounces away from Dobrovolsky, and Gibi couldn't quite get to it in time. He then collided with Timothy Dobrovolsky. Louisville City taking exception to it. And we'll take another look.
Great initial ball in. Defender misses it.
Gibi just quite didn't get enough of it. Dobrovolsky then got maybe stepped on by Gibi as he turned back up the pitch. Gibi fell down.
He's claiming he stepped on him, and he's claiming he tripped him, I think. Both have an argument, huh?
Either way, no discipline. And Louisville City back into the midfield. Trying to push this to 2-0. Ball into the middle, intercepted by Barry, but Lou City keeps it alive.
Kay's been very lively as he's come on for Louisville.
Kay out wide to the right. Ball played in the direction of Luke Spencer, deflected away. Corbin Bone will pick it up, and Andy Craven has made his way out to midfield, and we will see the final substitution for Alan Koch shortly.
We see Daryl Fordyce drop back into midfield, I think, and Craven would be go up top of Gibi. Be my guess.
Hildebrandt out into the midfield, didn't quite get to Craven. I'm sorry to FC Cincinnati, to Wiedemann he was looking for. Craven's getting set to check in. He will replace Jimmy McLaughlin. Meanwhile, Kay going to get a long ball on the right side. Kay trying to send it into the middle. It's deflected by Delbridge. Yeah. Goal kick for Hildebrandt.
Jump by the refs.
Third and final substitution for Alan Koch. It'll be Andy Craven, the Georgia native. Played his collegiate soccer at UNC. He replaces Jimmy McLaughlin in the 75th minute.
Just stretching wide here on the right-hand side.
Immediately trying to go to Craven. Headed out and into the stands. Throw in. Coming for FC Cincinnati if they can get a ball over to Daryl Fordyce. Fordyce tosses it in to Austin Berry. Delbridge looking towards the corner for Craven, can't get it to him. Back out across midfield, Berry. Delbridge with a header. Nice ball up to Quinn. Aiden Quinn holding off Del Piccolo, who's eventually called for the foul. Quickly back into play to Craven. Craven crossing it. Fordyce didn't quite get enough of it. Wiedemann keeps it in along the end line. Back to Delbridge. Delbridge sends it in, headed away by Louisville City. Craven coming on with fresh legs will be called for the foul. And Louisville City will get a free kick. left side. Louisville City playing in the direction of Luke Spencer, who is now limping after Matt Boehner won the header. Of course, Boehner and Spencer rivals in college. Spencer over at Xavier and Boehner here at the University of Cincinnati, so they played against each other previously.
I actually coached in one of those games too. So. Yeah.
Aiden Quinn up to Kenny Walker in the midfield. 78th minute now with Louisville City on top 1-0. The early goal by Brian Ownby in the 20th minute, the difference. Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to GB. Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at 1 apiece. FC Cincinnati is on the board. And a player was injured. I believe it was Corbin Bone.
Corbin Bone, yeah.
They're in the box after the goal. Remember, Alan Koch has no subs remaining. Let's take a look. Wiedemann starts it.
Great ball in by Wiedemann. Louisville defender just clears. I think that's where Corbin picks up. But again, instinctive, just like GB's goal on Saturday or Wednesday. Yeah, turns. Aiden Quinn turns very quickly and slots it in through the goalkeeper's legs.
The assist goes to Corbin Bone, who is slow to his feet.
I think he picked up a walk there.
His second assist on the season, and a huge one as we are tied at 1 apiece.
I don't think Allen changes his shape here either. You know, I think he keeps 3 at the back. We talked about it. He's home. He wants 3 points badly.
Aiden Quinn comes back to bite his old club. And orange smoke pouring from the Bailey, swirling with the wind around the stadium as we are tied at 1 apiece in the 79th minute. A huge goal from the San Diego, California native. George Davis trying to push it forward for Louisville City. Gaia Ben gonna hook it out wide to the right. It's Kay into the box, pushed it just past Davis. And Mitch Hildebrand came over to scoop it up quickly. Tries to get it out to Andy Craven, didn't quite get there. Deflection will roll back to Kenny Walker. Walker.
Good strength.
Screens off Niall McCabe to get the goal kick.
Yeah, good strength.
He was getting ready to play and realized he had a little bit of space. Could hold off McCabe.
Looked like they were dancing for a second.
I don't think Niall McCabe would agree with that.
He wasn't taking the lead, I know that.
McCabe, a native of Dublin, Ireland. 20,437, the announced attendance tonight. The 3rd consecutive time that Louisville City and FC Cincinnati have met at Nippert Stadium, with 20,000 plus out of this week. Over 60,000 soccer fans came to Nippert Stadium to watch soccer in the last 8 days.
Not bad.
Daryl Fordyce.
Just shows the interest of the game in the city, you know.
GB called for a foul, knocking down Del Piccolo in the midfield. Anybody who thought 2016 was a fluke as far as attendance was concerned, very, very wrong.
Well,
the movement continues here in Cincinnati. 81st minute, we are tied at 1 apiece. Goal kick coming up for Mitch Hildebrand. Let's see if FC Cincinnati get back down to the offensive third.
It's going to be exciting 10 minutes, Tommy.
Yeah, no doubt. Nerve-wracking, I'd imagine, for some as well. Delbridge into the midfield. Deflected in the direction of GB. Foul called on Louisville City. Guy Ben waving his hand. He doesn't agree. Free kick coming up for Aiden Quinn. What a job by Corbin Bone there to flick it on to Quinn. And Quinn buries it to tie the match at 1.
Good touch by
There's Wiedemann. Wiedemann trying to get into the box. He set up that goal. Couldn't quite get another one going here. Luke Spencer picks it up. Now he's going to make a run down the left side, trying to get to it. Austin Berry coming in. Tough on Spencer. Spencer slips, gets back up, and regains control. Morad up to Spencer. Quinn pokes it away. Kenny Walker into the midfield. GB waiting for Wiedemann to catch up. Now he'll tap it over that direction.
Big test, though. We talked about, obviously an exciting 10 minutes, but it's going to be a big push for FC Cincinnati, especially those players that have clocked up a lot of minutes over the last 3 games. Balanced with some fresh legs, so hopefully that can be the driving force in the game.
Corbin Bone took a knock on that assist.
Yeah.
Appears to be okay as he stayed in the game. There was no opportunity for a sub as Alan Koch has used all 3 available substitutions. Now McCabe comes off his foot. Matt Boehner clears it. One back by Morad. Into the middle, Kay. Louisville City back to the offensive third, right to left. Into the middle, Kay. Flicked it over to Spencer. He misplayed it, and Craven ends up with it. He'll turn on the Jets.
Oh, wow.
Craven
shows a pace here.
knocked in the midfield, able to stay with it. Now he loses it across midfield. Play on was called out. Koch wanted a yellow card, did not get it. Louisville City getting ready to use their final substitutions. Midfielder Richard Ballard will check in, a product of Indiana University. Louisville City with possession in the midfield. Onto the left, George Davis got past Bone. Davis with a right foot. Hildebrandt diving to his left, and it went just wide.
Yeah, Mitch did well that time, just making sure that that goal was covered. Davis picks up the ball here, just a little nutmeg through. Decent strike, was swerving away, but Mitch had it covered.
A yellow card for dissent was called, I believe, on Paulo Del Piccolo. While Louisville City was making the substitution, Del Piccolo, and it was Paulo Del Piccolo, with a bit too much to say, and he picks up a yellow card. He's in the book for the second time this year. It's a good 60 yards away from the goal where Mitch Hildebrandt was setting up for a goal kick. Comes off the arm of GB. GB mixing it up with Paco Craig.
It's got to be careful. We talk about discipline, right? We just
seen 5 yellow cards here in this derby matchup tonight. Tied at 1 apiece. Luke Spencer out to McCabe. McCabe gonna send it across. Back into the middle, Spencer. Tried to poke it out to McCabe, and FC Cincinnati cleared it out along the touchline, throwing for Louisville City inside the offensive third. Morad throws it in. Louisville City nearly lost it along the touchline, but able to keep it alive. Okay. Nice move to keep it alive away from Aiden Quinn. Then he completely misplays it off his left foot and it rolls out. FC Cincinnati regains possession. 86th minute, so 4 minutes plus stoppage time coming here at Nippert Stadium. Orange and blue tried to flip sides of the pitch, didn't get it quite strong enough over to Andy Craven, who's playing on the right. Nice sliding stop there by Aiden Quinn. Gave it off to Matt Boehner. Boehner forward for GB.
Gotta be careful.
And GB's going in the book with a straight red. Wow. You have got to be kidding. Now the challenge there, they're going to say he went in with 2 feet on Kyle Smith. The fans are not happy, and FC Cincinnati has just picked up their 3rd red card in 6 games. GB won't be available next week. We'll get another look at it here, but I don't know that that warranted a red card.
You know, it's one of those things. I mean, you kind of see it coming. Not the red card, but
I mean, is he not going in the direction of the ball there?
It's not a straight red.
As I said on Wednesday,
but
there's only one person who gets to make that decision.
Right.
It's Mark Kedlesic. GB, not happy, as now he'll miss the match. He immediately stood up. He didn't think it was a card. He certainly didn't think it was a red card.
Now, the biggest thing to consider, too, is, you know, the yellow cards that have been given tonight have been kind of questionable. I mean, based on the referee's decisions, it's
unfortunate.
I'm not shocked, put it that way.
Now FC Cincinnati has to play a man down for 2 minutes plus stoppage time. And again, try to hold on to a 1-1 draw. Deflection in the middle, Mitch. Hildebrandt with a big save. It bounced off the leg of Guy Aben. The Boo Birds were out here at Nippert Stadium after the second yellow card in as many matches for FC Cincinnati. Kadeem Dakers suspended tonight after getting a very questionable red card on Wednesday night against Tampa Bay. Now another questionable red card called on GB, the leading scorer for FC Cincinnati, and he'll be suspended next Saturday. First things first, finishing off this match. Kay with a run down the right side.
I think, again, red card or no red card, my problem with that, I just don't think there's a need to go to ground. You know, you're in the middle of the field. It's just a loss of possession. I'm sure I'll have a word with GB after the game about that.
Fordyce trying to pick it up in the midfield. Wiedemann there as well. Wiedemann wins it. Fordyce just trying to get it across midfield, deflects it off Louisville City. There will be plenty of stoppage time. 5 minutes to be added on is the signal from the fourth official. Wiedemann unable to get possession. Third time this season FC Cincinnati's had to play a man down. Andy Craven getting back defensively, catching up with Ballard, deflected onto the foot of McCabe. Austin Berry's going to clear it out.
Been impressed with Craven's work rate and his pace since he's came on.
A bend onto his left, Morad. Both teams have used up their full allotment of substitutions. Tosh out wide to the right. Now he'll get it back with some space to work.
Still got to get pressure on this ball. That service
sending it into the middle. McCabe heads it straight into the air. Hildebrandt there to pick it up. McCabe took another swipe at it. Hildebrandt doesn't like that. Austin Berry's going to come in and try to settle things down, and tempers flaring a little bit here in the waning moments. Mitch not happy with the extra effort from McCabe. All of this taking place right in front of the Bailey. We'll let everybody hear about it. We are now into stoppage time. 5 minutes of stoppage time have been added on.
It's FC Cincinnati now. It's, waiting to maybe a set piece to try to push numbers up. I'm sure, again, they're down a player that they're happy with a tie, but might be a situation where they may gamble and send a player for a free kick or a corner kick.
We certainly have a scorer in Daryl Fordyce who could break free and try to give FC Cincinnati, if they can get a run down that way, and give them a chance. For FC Cincinnati fans right now, it probably feels as though time is standing still. The goal in the 78th minute by former Louisville City midfielder Aiden Quinn, tied it at 1 apiece. And then in the 87th minute, GB sent off with a straight red card. Third straight red card this year called on FC Cincinnati, and now Louisville City playing at a man advantage in stoppage time. Morad into the middle, played it too strong, trying to get it to Ballard. It'll roll out. And a goal kick for Mitch Hildebrandt, who's going to be in no sort of hurry to put it back into play. That's official. Mark Kedlesic going back, trying to get Mitch to hurry up. Last year, Mitch actually received a yellow card in this type of situation for taking too long to take a goal kick.
It's a shame, you know, obviously on Wednesday too, the sending off totally changed the game. I feel like tonight again it changed where it's in case they got, you know, the equalizing goal. Got
certainly
a decent
some momentum
amount.
had switched.
Yeah, probably 8 minutes left, I think, maybe when he got sent off.
Yep.
So still time, obviously, with equal numbers to try to create something. And now it's like, okay, well, we're happy enough to get a tie out of this.
A bend, sending it forward for Luke Spencer. Barry heads it away. Louisville City pressuring offensively with about 3 minutes remaining in stoppage time. McCabe out wide. Now McCabe will get it back. On the right side of the corner, sails it over the goal. And that'll give Mitch a moment to run a few seconds off the clock.
Despite the body language, it looks like they're just obviously going to kill us off. Keep things tight at the back.
Pushing Wiedemann, Craven, and Fordyce across midfield, and that's about it.
They moved Craven into the central area here, maybe to get a knock on and something in behind Louisville's back four.
Hildebrand sent it across the midfield. Aiden Quinn turning it forward to Fordyce. Craven. 3 white jerseys around him. It's poked out by Louisville City, and a throw in for Craven.
The last little chance here is what I'm talking about. You kind of got to gamble.
Kenny Walker, you can see setting it up.
It'll be a long throw, or
he's going to leave Boehner, Delbridge, and Barry back. Walker's going to throw it in, trying to get it to Craven. Nearly was a corner kick as it was deflected away. That was the opportunity you were talking about.
Yeah.
Instead, another throw in will come. FC Cincinnati will throw it in. Only 3 players in the box in black uniforms, 6 in white jersey tops. Craven, he was trying to deflect it for a corner kick there.
Get a corner here.
Kenny Walker's going to try to do. He'll send it across the middle. Ball bouncing around and didn't quite get to Wiedemann as Dobrovolsky lost it on his first touch and then was able to pull it back down. Now 1 minute remaining in stoppage time. 1-1, Louisville City and FC Cincinnati tied at Nippert Stadium.
I think a big thing, you know, before the sending off too, I think FC Cincinnati be a little bit disappointed that they didn't test the Louisville goalkeeper more. Didn't have a ton of, you know, shots on frame.
Rowan intended for Andy Craven, skipped right out along the touchline. Louisville City will hurry to put it back into play and nearly skipped a pass right onto the foot of Andy Craven. Here comes Lou City, maybe one last opportunity to set up their offense. Ballard into the offensive third, taps it back, Del Piccolo. And the final whistle comes. A draw here at Nippert Stadium. A late goal equalized it for Alan Koch's lads. And the final tally, 1-1. Tonight's moment of the match is driven by Toyota. Let's go places, and shouldn't be a surprise what the moment of the match is tonight, Kevin.
No, Aiden Quinn comes up big. This ball comes in. Good touch, and Corbin's brave. Obviously good instinct by Aiden Quinn. Turns and spins and puts it into the back of the net.
Quinn against his old team gets the equalizer to make it 1-1, and then FC Cincinnati holds on for the draw after GB is sent off with a red card in the 87th minute. Kevin and I will step aside. When we return, Lindsay will chat with Alan Koch. We'll take a look at the highlights from tonight's match. Once again, your final, FC Cincinnati 1, Louisville City 1. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer.
Yes. Got it.
Back at Nippert Stadium, Tom Glader alongside Kevin McCloskey, where Louisville City and FC Cincinnati end in a 1-1 draw. Time now for the great clips, great saves, save time every time when you use online check-in for a great haircut at Great Clips. It's going to be great. And Mitch Hildebrand, late in this match, kept it at 1-1.
Yeah, just a little flick and good reaction. Was set well, obviously held it, and you know, routine save for Mitch, but important one.
Mitch Hildebrand conceded the early goal, but got the save there. It ends 1-1. Lindsey Patterson is down on the sideline with Alan Koch and Aiden Quinn.
Coach, similar to Tampa, you know, you walk away with a draw, but you play with a man down. What a job by your guys late.
Yeah, you know what, this week we learned a lot about our group, and I think we knew it beforehand, playing three of the top teams in the Eastern Conference like we've done this week. We knew it would be a big challenge for our group. I think what happened to St. Louis last Saturday here when they played the third game in a week and we saw how tired they were happened to us tonight. I don't think our performance was very, very good, but part of that is obviously playing three games against quality opposition in a short amount of time. What I like the most about our group right now is last Saturday we could play great football. I think Wednesday we showed the character we have. I think we showed the warriors we have in our group tonight. It wasn't a good performance. We know that, and we're very, very happy to take a point. But I think the biggest thing we can take out is the quality moments that our group showed and how we came together to weather a storm against our rivals. And I think from the bottom of all of our hearts, we thank the fans because they helped to carry us through in the second half and help the players get that equalizer.
Speaking of moments, a big one by this guy right here against his former team. What was it like getting that shot?
Yeah, it was just great because we got back into the game. We knew we didn't want to lose this game. It's probably one of the best teams we played this year and probably will be, and it's a rival game. So it's great to get a point. We wish we could have got three, but I think we saw how much character this team has.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsey. Great job tonight reporting down on the sideline. We look forward to seeing you again for our next home local broadcast on May 13th. Tonight's match, man of the match, is presented by You Pull and Pay. Find the parts you need fast and save at You Pull and Pay, and it's the man that Lindsey just spoke with.
Yeah, but I think tonight, Alan talked about warriors. I think Ian was definitely a warrior. Very gritty performance, very industrial performance, but obviously came out big at the right time and put FC Cincinnati back in the game.
Aiden Quinn with his first of the year, and it comes against his former team, Louisville City. Tonight's match highlights are presented by for all the latest Toyota offers. Visit buyatoyota.com, and it was Louisville City getting it going early with Brian Ownby, who had a great game.
Yeah, very dangerous player. Cuts inside here. Great strike with his left foot into the bottom corner, which obviously sets up Louisville with the lead. Continue to be a menacing player, you know, throughout the game.
So Mitch Hildebrand was beat early, and then FC Cincinnati started creating some chances at the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, Harrison shows great determination in getting through and just taken down by the Louisville defender, resulting in the yellow card.
Started our reign of cards and discipline tonight. Mitch Hildebrand, a couple saves in the second half, and then here it is again, Andrew Wiedemann getting it set up.
Yeah, great turn and finish again, great instinct by Aiden Quinn.
And Corbin Bone to pick it up off the foot there of Del Piccolo.
Right, absolutely. I mean, obviously then it's back, game squared. This is the tackle and the sending off. Again, it's red card or not red card, it's the referee's decision to make, and I'm sure GB probably would stay on his feet if it happened again. So totally changed the game a little bit, I think, at that stage. FC Cincinnati had momentum, and it allowed kind of Louisville to kind of see like, that result.
Well, now, and as Alan Koch said, a lot learned this week for FC Cincinnati, and 5 points against 3 very good teams. There's some success in that, no doubt.
No, I think this provides so much information for Alan and his staff. We talk about the process. This was a reflection of the process. Seeing different things happen at different points. Third game, in 8 games or 8 days. Sorry, it certainly pushes players to a level of fatigue.
Well, this club has overcome adversity. They'll have to do it again without GB next time out. Once again, our final score from Nippert Stadium: FC Cincinnati 1, Louisville City 1. Our next broadcast of USL Soccer comes your way next Saturday when FC Cincinnati goes on the road to face Bethlehem. The action begins at 5 on WSTR. For sideline reporter Lindsey Patterson, my broadcast partner Kevin McCloskey, our producer David Ashbrock, and production manager Mike Bacon, I'm Tom Gletter saying so long and good night from Nippert Stadium. That's fun. All right, I can kill some of it. Let me see your pen, Cam. I'm on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Tonight, the first of 3 meetings this season between Louisville City and FC Cincinnati. Tom Gletter, happy to be alongside All-American Kevin McCloskey as we get you ready for tonight's Derby matchup. And Kevin, it's only week 5 of the season, but you can
this game tonight, and both teams have started very strong in the season, so it'll be tough. It'll be a tough matchup.
Jimmy McLaughlin playing great soccer for head coach Alan Koch this season. He'll get his 2nd consecutive start tonight, and that takes us to our key man. Means Timothy Dobrovolsky has taken over and has done really a fantastic job. Dobrovolsky is 0.57. On the other side of this rivalry 3 times, as was Kadeem Dakers, and Kadeem Dakers was wildly disappointed.
For credit, I mean, they kind of dug it out and got a point out of the game.
Corbin Bone off to his right, GB into the box. It deflects out along the end line, and they're going to call a goal kick, much with his left foot. 10th minute, scoreless at Nippert Stadium. Sends it into the box. Header, Austin Berry. He had an early goal against Louisville City in the match last April here at Nippert Stadium. Nearly had one there, but it went. Victor Mansoure sending it into the box. GB is there. The flag went up. And offside is the call. Andy Craven, who's seen some minutes in the past week as well.
Yeah. No, and especially those 2 central players that we just talked about with Kenny and Corbin. You know, they played every minute the last 3 games. Maybe combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate. Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and from top. Maybe combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate. Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and from top. Maybe combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate. Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and from top. Maybe combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate. Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and from top.
Great goals for Louisville City. A late 2nd goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tosh, I think.
Take another look at it.
Arson does well, penetrates. Could have been a foul too, a little given.
Great goals for Louisville City. A late 2nd goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tosh, I think.
Take another look at it.
Arson does well, penetrates. Could have been a foul too, a little given.
Great goals for Louisville City. A late 2nd goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tosh, I think.
Take another look at it.
Arson does well, penetrates. Could have been a foul too, a little give.
Straight goals for Louisville City. A late second goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge, taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tosh, I think.
We'll take another look at it.
Arson does well, penetrates. Could have been a foul too, a little give. This is probably a right footer's.
Walker with his right foot just high, sailed it over the goal. Dobrovolsky played it right, put his hands down at the last minute when he knew it was going to go high.
He makes good contact, he just can't dip it. You know, it's hard getting over the wall and then back down on frame again. Doesn't turn his hip over the ball as he strikes through, so it's a tough skill to hit.
Go trying to beat Austin Berry.
It's a good little run by Lancaster as they get behind him.
Keeping it alive, shot is deflected and Mitch Hildebrand reads it well.
Austin's just got to track that runner. It was a good little move, spin move from Lancaster, but Austin's got to worry.
Davis, right-footed shot and a save by Mitch Hildebrand. Polak gets it up to Mansoray. Youngest player of the FC Cincinnati roster, on the FC Cincinnati roster. Header just inside the 6-yard box, and a goal kick coming. McLaughlin. McLaughlin with a right foot into the middle, and Dobrovolsky is there.
Jimmy's just got to look up a little bit and see where his target.
Quinn has it taken off his foot. Ownby splits two defenders. A foul will be called, and a free kick coming up here for Louisville City.
Ownby does well again, kind of just picks up on Eden Quinn's first touch.
Side. Walker back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin in the box, lost it off his foot.
He's got a nudge in the back there too.
Quinn has it taken off his foot. Ownby splits two defenders. A foul will be called, and a free kick coming up here for Louisville City.
Ownby does well again, kind of just picks up on Eden Quinn's first touch, drives into that pocket.
Quinn has it taken off his foot. Ownby splits two defenders. A foul will be called, and a free kick coming up here for Louisville City.
He does well again, kind of just picks up on Eden Quinn's first touch, drives into that pocket of space.
Austin Berry is booked. A late Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up the rebound, and he sent it up into the middle. Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up the rebound, and he sent it up into the Bailey.
I mean, Harrison's just got to cut it. He can't cut back inside his one of them.
Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up the rebound, and he sent it up into the Bailey. Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up. Kenny Walker with his right foot swings it into the box. Header, Harrison Delbridge, backdoor Corbin Bone. Couldn't quite get to it, and it skipped out along the end line, but touched last by Louisville City, and a corner kick coming up.
Yeah, good delivery, much better from Kenny Walker.
Cade plays it in the middle for Louisville City. He's cut down from behind by Kenny Walker, who's going to land in the book. Third yellow card today. She's called him over to have a conversation with him, and it appears as though he'll put his jersey on. Gibi in the box. It bounces away from Dobrovolsky, and Gibi couldn't quite get to it in time. He then collided with Timothy Dobrovolsky. Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to Gibi. Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at one apiece. FC Cincinnati is on the board. And a player was injured. Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to Gibi. Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at one apiece. Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to Gibi.
Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at 1 apiece. FC Cincinnati is on the board. And a player was injured. I believe it was Corbin Bowman. There in the box after the goal. Remember, Alan Koch has no subs remaining. Let's take a look. Wiedemann starts it.
Good ball in by Wiedemann.
Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to GB. Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at 1 apiece. FC Cincinnati is on the board. Setting up for a goal kick. Comes off the arm of GB. GB mixing it up with Paco Craig.
It's got to be careful. We talk about discipline, right? Just
gave it off to Matt Boehner. Boehner forward for GB.
got to be careful.
And GB's going in the book with a straight red. Wow. You have got to be kidding. Now the challenge there, they're going to say he went in with 2 feet on Kyle Smith. The fans are not happy, and FC Cincinnati has just picked up their 3rd red card in 6 games. GB won't be available next week. We'll get another look at it here, but I don't know that that warranted a red card.
You know, Tom, it's one of those things, I mean, you kind of see it coming.
Gave it off to Matt Boehner. Boehner forward for GB.
Got to be careful.
And GB's going in the book with a straight red. Wow. You have got to be kidding. Now the challenge there, they're going to say he went in with 2 feet on Kyle Smith. The fans are not happy, and FC Cincinnati has just picked up their 3rd red card in 6 games. GB won't be available next week. We'll get another look at it here, but I don't know that that warranted a red card.
You know, Tom, it's one of those things, I mean, you kind of see it coming.
Stoppage time. And again, try to hold on to a 1-1 draw. Deflection in the middle, Mitch. That's fun. All right, I can kill some of it. Let me see your pen, Cam. I'm on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Tonight, the first of 3 meetings this season between Louisville City and FC Cincinnati. Tom Gletter, happy to be alongside All-American Kevin McCloskey as we get you ready for tonight's Derby matchup. And Kevin, it's only week 5 of the season, but you can get the energy, feel it down on the field. Tonight's a very big match for both these teams.
Big rival game, obviously. They've a lot of history from last season coming into this game tonight, and both teams have started very strong in the season, so it'll be tough. It'll be a tough matchup.
Jimmy McLaughlin playing great soccer for head coach Alan Koch this season. He'll get his 2nd consecutive start tonight, and that takes us to our key man. Means Timothy Dobrovolsky has taken over and has done really a fantastic job. Dobrovolsky is 0.57. On the other side of this rivalry 3 times, as was Kadeem Dakers. And Kadeem Dakers was
Wildly disappointed.
For credit, I mean, they kind of dug it out and got a point out of the game.
Corbin Bone off to his right, GB. GB into the box. It deflects out along the end line, and they're going to call a goal kick with his left foot. 10th minute, scoreless at Nippert Stadium. Sends it into the box. Header, Austin Berry. He had an early goal against Louisville City in the match last April here at Nippert Stadium. Nearly had one there, but it went. Victor Mansoure sending it into the box. GB is there. The flag went up. And offside is the call. Andy Craven, who's seen some minutes in the past week as well.
Yeah. No, and especially those two central players that we just talked about with Kenny and Corbin. You know, they played every minute the last 2 games. And we combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate. Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and from top. And we combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate. Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and from top. And we combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate. Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and from top. And we combine up with one of their attacking center mids, then try to release it.
Ownby around his former teammate. Aiden Quinn, and Brian Ownby drills it past Mitch Hildebrand in the 20th minute to give the visitors an early lead.
I talked about that earlier, that space in between kind of the fullback and the center back. Ownby cuts in onto his left foot and from top.
Great goals for Louisville City. A late second goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge, taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tulsa, I think.
Take another look at it.
Arson does well, penetrates. Could have been a foul too, a given.
Great goals for Louisville City. A late second goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge, taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tulsa, I think.
Take another look at it.
Arson does well, penetrates. Could have been a foul too, a given.
Great goals for Louisville City. A late second goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge, taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tulsa, I think.
Take another look at it.
Arson does well, penetrates.
Great goals for Louisville City. A late second goal for FC Cincinnati came from Pat McMahon. Here comes Harrison Delbridge, taken down just outside the box.
It's obstruction there from Tulsa, I think.
Take another look at it.
Arson does well, penetrates. Could have been a foul too, a given. This is probably a right footer.
Walker with his right foot just high, sailed it over the goal. Dobrovolsky played it right, put his hands down the last minute when he knew it was going to go high.
He makes good contact, he just can't dip it. You know, it's hard getting over the wall and then back down on frame again.
Trying to beat Austin Berry.
It's a good little run by Lancaster as they get behind him.
Keeping it alive, shot is deflected, and Mitch Hildebrand reads it well.
Austin's just got to track that runner. It was good little moves.
Davis, right-footed shot and a save by Mitch Hildebrand. Pollock gets the youngest player of the FC Cincinnati roster, on the FC Cincinnati roster. Header just inside the 6-yard box, and a goal kick coming. Okay. McLaughlin with a right foot into the middle, and Dobrovolsky is there. Quinn hasn't taken off his foot. Ownby splits two defenders. A foul will be called, and a free kick coming up here for Louisville City.
He does well again, kind of just picks up on Aiden Quinn's first touch, drives into that pocket of space.
Side. Walker Back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin in the box. Lost it off his foot.
It's got a nudge in the back.
Quinn has it taken off his foot. Ownby splits two defenders. A foul will be called and a free kick coming up here for Louisville City.
He does well again. Kind of just picks up on even.
Quinn has it taken off his foot. Ownby splits two defenders. A foul will be called and a free kick coming up here for Louisville City.
He does well again. Kind of just picks up on even Quinn's first touch. Drives into that pocket of space.
Austin Berry is booked. Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up the rebound, and he sent it up into the Bailey.
I mean, Harrison's just got to clear that. He can't cut back inside his limit.
Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up the rebound, and he sent it up into the Bailey.
I mean, Harrison.
Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up the rebound, and he sent it up into the Bailey.
I mean, Harrison's just got to clear that. He can't cut back inside his limit.
Davis charging in. Delbridge takes position, then Davis takes it back, and Mitch says no with a big save. Luke Spencer tried to pick up the Kenny Walker with his right foot swings it into the box. Header, Harrison Delbridge, backdoor Corbin Bone. Couldn't quite get to it, and it skipped out along the end line, but touched last by Louisville City, and a corner kick coming up.
Yeah, good delivery.
Cade plays it in the middle for Louisville City. He's cut down from behind by Kenny Walker, who's going to land in the book. Third yellow card today. Just called him over to have a conversation with him, and it appears as though he'll put his jersey on. Gibi in the box. It bounces away from Dobrovolsky, and Gibi couldn't quite get to it in time. He then collided with Timothy Dobrovolsky. Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to Gibi. Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at one apiece. FC Cincinnati is on the board. Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to Gibi. Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at one apiece. Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to Gibi. Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at one apiece. Cincinnati is on the board. And a player was injured. I believe it was Corbin Bone. There in the box after the goal. Remember, Alan Koch has no subs remaining. Let's take a look. Wiedemann starts it. Some space for Wiedemann out wide on the left. Wiedemann swinging it in, doesn't get to Gibi. Picked up by Craven. Turn! Aiden Quinn has tied the game at one apiece. FC Cincinnati is on the board. Setting up for a goal kick. Comes off the arm of Gibi. Gibi mixing it up with Paco Craig.
He's got to be careful. We talk about discipline, right? Just
gave it off to Matt Boehner. Boehner forward for Gibi.
Be careful.
And Gibi's going in the book with a straight red. Wow. You have got to be kidding. Now the challenge there, they're going to say he went in with 2 feet on Kyle Smith. The fans are not happy, and FC Cincinnati has just picked up their 3rd red card in 6 games. Gibi won't be available next week. We'll get another look at it here, but I don't know that warranted a red card.
You know, it's one of those things, I mean, you kind of see it coming.
Gave it off to Matt Boehner. Boehner forward for Gibi.
Be careful.
And Jimmy's going in the book with a straight red. Wow. You have got to be kidding. Now the challenge there, they're going to say he went in with 2 feet on Kyle Smith. The fans are not happy, and FC Cincinnati has just picked up their 3rd red card in 6 games. Stoppage time, and again, try to hold on to a 1-1 draw. Deflection in the middle, Mitch. Hildebrand with a big save. It bounced off the leg of Guy Evans. The Bluebirds were out here at Nippert Stadium after plus stoppage time. And again, try to hold on to a 1-1 draw. Deflection in the middle, Mitch. Hildebrand with a big save. It bounced off the leg of Guy Evans. The Bluebirds were out here at Nippert Stadium after final whistle comes. A draw here at Nippert Stadium. A late goal equalized it for Alan Koch's Lads.